On this episode of WrestleStop, you have Jeff and Joe covering this past weekend's WrestlePalooza, the disaster PLE that it was on ESPN. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know how we're doing, and we'll continue to make these exceptional videos just for you. On to the video.
Alrighty. Well, again, as Joe mentioned, we're going to just talk about WrestlePalooza, the first PLE of the ESPN era. I guess we'll talk about our thoughts and give our, everything at the end. I have some thoughts on those who thought it was a bad PLE and it was a failure and this, that, and the other. But the first thing in the night, they announced the return of Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee came out. The PLE was in Indianapolis. Easy for me to say. Pat McAfee's hometown. So the crowd was hype. He came out, Pat McAfee's a part of ESPN. And
for you, huh?
He came out and he looked like he was going to broadcast the whole show. He only stuck around for 3 matches. I don't really understand why he came out for part of the show, but whatever, that was the plan. So the first match of the night was John Cena versus Brock Lesnar. John Cena came out to his normal entrance. They started to announce Brock Lesnar, and Paul Heyman interrupted. Paul Heyman came down and gave Brock Lesnar the introduction I guess he felt he deserved. Jumping into the match, there's not a whole lot to say. It was pretty one-sided, which was shocking. I know they've had a match like this in the past, but Brock took it to John and just laid it to him, just literally destroyed him, which was just odd for this late in his retirement. Retirement tour. So
yeah, I was pretty confused by it too, right? What was the point, right? Why would they do that to John Cena? John Cena's on his farewell tour. He's only got 5 matches left, I think they said. At this point, maybe 4.
Yeah, I think it's 5 appearances left. Yeah.
And they have Brock Lesnar, who's a part-time employee. I get it. He's a beast. He's a monster. He makes the money. I get it. But this was a shortened carbon copy of their first match. I don't know if you saw that one or not.
No.
It was the same thing where Brock Lesnar came out and just destroyed him. John Cena got a little offense in, but there wasn't much of a point to the match. So I'm very confused where they're going with this.
I am as well. And
they said it was the final match. They're not going to wrestle again. That's how it was billed, as the final match. Are they going to go against that like they have in the past, and make it to where they're going to wrestle again? Is he going to wrestle Brock Lesnar again in one of his final 5 matches? I know his next one's against AJ Styles, which we can talk about later on a different video. But so really, there's 4 options left. Are they going to do Brock Lesnar again for one of those 4?
Yeah, and John Cena's not, I think he's done with Raw and SmackDown, so I don't know how he builds hype for another match unless they continue to just bring Brock Lesnar out like they have the last couple weeks. But it was just odd. They build toward it. It's not like it was a throwback match, or an Easter egg for true fans that remember the original Brock Lesnar and John Cena match where Brock destroyed him, because they hyped it up. They wanted to remind you. That was a part of the packages they've done the last couple weeks in recapping this feud. So for them to come out and do that this late in the retirement tour just seems odd, unless they're putting over Brock Lesnar again and he's going to come back more on a full-time basis and they're just trying to really hype him up. But it just seems odd that Cena would do this late in the career and not putting over a young wrestler. Brock doesn't need to be put over. So I don't understand.
I mean, Brock at this point should just be, he's the money guy. Go in, take a pin for somebody, put somebody over, in my opinion. Yeah. But unless they have plans for him, which I don't think they do, he's not even advertised for the next PLE. Yeah. They've only got a couple weeks to really build that up. So
the one thing that did excite me, and nothing about this match, but once I realized that Brock Lesnar and Paul Heyman were reuniting, and the Braun connection came in. So it's Seth Rollins and his bras. You know what I mean?
His bras.
I don't know, but he would be a rather interesting addition to the vision. I guess
Is he going to take a back seat to Seth Rollins, though?
But he doesn't talk. Again, Seth Rollins is the talker of the crew right now and kind of the leader. But
I'd be kind of mad if he took a back seat to like Braun Breaker.
Yeah, they got Braun Breaker in serving that purpose. Maybe for War Games, it's a Heyman team.
Yeah, maybe.
They're building a Heyman team.
I can see that, but then maybe CM Punk would join that. He's a Heyman guy too.
Yeah, I just don't see. I guess they could.
Roman Reigns.
They already did that with CM Punk last year when he begrudgingly joined the Bloodline. So
that's true, because WWE never repeats.
No, it would never especially just a year later.
They never do that.
Quickly, so.
But yeah, I hated the match. I know you do your thumbs up and thumbs down. I'm gonna give it an F. I thought it sucked. I was not happy with it at all. I'm
just gonna go straight thumbs down. It left me confused. It wasn't even a back and forth entertaining match. It was what it was. So rather disappointing events. A rather disappointing start to the first ESPN PLE, I think, for most people. Just confusion all around.
Yeah, did make sense.
Next up, we had the Usos versus the Browns. Mm-hmm. They had a little bit of an intro to the match, and then they showed a scene that happened earlier in the day where the Browns and the Usos got into a scuffle before or as they were arriving to the arena. And at that point, Adam Pearce decided to make LA Knight the special guest referee. We all knew LA Knight was going to get involved in this match some way or another. It was interesting to add him into the special guest referee. He said before the match that he's just there to count 3 or to see if somebody submits. Pretty much the wrestlers are on their own. He's going to let them do whatever they want. So entrance to the Uso, I did catch something, and I actually rewound it to double check this. When Jimmy and Jay came out together and they were playing Jay's song, it was a different version of the song. It was same music.
It was their original song. It was the Usos' original.
Was it?
When they were a team before.
So it was their older lyrics to Jay's new music. Because it was the Yeet music.
Was it?
Yes.
But
with different lyrics. It was day one, it's just me, Us, is what Jay's music said. And this one, it says day one, something else. I couldn't quite catch the wording, but it was a slightly different wording. So they did that. They walked about halfway down. They stopped. They talked to the crowd for a little bit. They started the music back up, and then they went to Jay's his newer music. So,
okay.
So that was that. That was it. I thought that was interesting. The other comment I have is those were some of the ugliest outfits I've ever seen. This brown and gray and whatever. Again, I don't know if those are throwbacks to maybe some of their old tag team outfits. I don't know, but I just thought their outfits were absolutely hideous. But whatever. This ain't a fashion show. They went down to the ring. What I did like next is when they introduced Braun Breaker and Ronson Beed. Braun Breaker came out with a studded leather jacket like his dad used to wear. I thought that was really cool, paying homage to his dad with the leather jacket and everything that Rick Steiner used to wear. He was wearing the chainmail
like Scott Steiner used to wear.
Maybe that's coming in the future. But I liked seeing him in the leather jacket and all that. So then Knight came down. He argued back and forth with both of them throughout the match. They both were accused, trying to get him to stay out of their way and all that. What I did find interesting is when they were outside the ring at one point, it was either Braun or I think it was Ronson Beed went to pull a chair out from under the ring, and LA Knight stopped him from using it. And then a few minutes later, Jimmy picked up the ring, and LA Knight went to stop him, and then looked at him and said, go ahead. And he kind of let him in. And from that on, it was just table. They were anybody and anything went on from there.
Yeah, I feel like there's like a alliance between Jimmy Uso and LA Knight.
Yes. Yeah.
We'll talk about that in our Raw recap when we do that one, but I know you haven't watched it yet, but no spoilers, but there was a thing with that as well.
Okay.
Not so much what you just said, but like an alliance there. So we'll cover that then, but I think there might be something there. I don't know.
There's another cool move in there that I saw is Ronson Beed picked up Braun Breaker on his back and then ran and delivered a double splash to Jimmy Uso. I thought that was pretty cool, something unique I haven't seen in a while. So throughout the match, it was back and forth. They started using chairs and tables and all that. They set up a table in the corner. This was something else I thought that was odd, that the Usos were setting the table up in the corner and it was propped up on one of its legs and they couldn't get the leg to fold. And so they kind of gave up on it. And then LA Knight went over there and fixed the table. And I just thought that was an odd look for the ref to be fixing the table in the middle of the match instead of staying out of it. But whatever.
This whole PLE was a disaster. But anyway, yeah.
So they got into it. At one point, Jimmy Uso starts hitting, I think it was Braun Breaker, with the chair. He hit it a little too hard. The chair ricocheted off him, bounced up, hit him in the face. He busted himself wide open over courtside. He may have had some sort of a concussion.
Yeah.
The match wrapped up quickly after that. Braun Breaker ended up spearing both Usos through the table. Again, Jay was busted open. Bronson Reed hits the tsunami, and the Browns, take home the victory. So
I think the right people won. I don't remember who I picked.
I think we both picked the Vision on that one.
And who did we pick for the first one?
So first one, we both picked Cena. So we were both wrong there.
Okay, so
we
show a shot.
Yep. Then we both picked the Vision. So we were both correct on that one.
Okay.
So after 2 matches, we were 1-1. We were tied 1-1 on that. So.
Okay. So we both owe a shot, though.
Yes.
Just to be clear.
Just to be clear, we both owe a shot.
Okay.
You want to do that now?
We don't have anything right now.
Well, we got your little...
That's not a shot.
Okay. We're building shots up. So
I have like 50 that I owe at this point, but I think Jeff owes like 2.
Yeah.
I owe 100 because my picks have been trash.
So speaking of shots, come the next PLE, we've got a new game we're going to be playing.
Oh, yeah. We did post... We posted a short of this saying that we had it. What's it called? Watch Wrestling, Get Drunk. Our schedules haven't aligned, but they do for the next one, which is what day is that?
Saturday, October 11th.
But the problem is, what time is it at Eastern time? We're in the Eastern time zone for those who...
It starts at 8 a.m. Eastern
8
time.
8 a.m. So we're going to play this game at 8 a.m. on whatever day we just said.
That's a Saturday, October 11th. So
Saturday, October 11th.
Little day drinking.
A little bit. That's like early morning drinking.
So we'll be posting lots of shorts that day. So please, log in, get us some views, get us some likes, get us some comments, do some shots with us.
I will record as many videos as I can of it. I don't know. I'm going to have to dig into YouTube's thing with drinking. I don't really know the rules behind that.
But we did shots at SummerSlam.
Yeah, we did. And we didn't get banned for that. A lot of my videos this past weekend got banned.
You think that was the drinking or was that the music?
I think it was the music probably. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I'll post a bunch of stuff though. He'll post a bunch of stuff. Holly and Brooke, who do our social media stuff, they'll also be partaking at 8 a.m. drinking. We'll also post some stuff on Twitter. Sorry, it's not Twitter anymore.
It's
on X and on TikTok.
Yeah.
So you can see the stuff there as well.
So
anyway, on with the thing. We still on that match?
No, next match. I didn't really have anything more to add to that. Anything? Did you want to grade the match?
Yeah, I want to grade it. I'm going to give it a B.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match
I think
overall.
the right people won.
Up.
It kind of advanced Jey Uso's is he a bad guy, becoming a bad guy type thing a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, without you watching Raw, it's hard to I don't want to spoil anything for you really. But yeah, I gave it a B. I thought it was an okay match. It was alright.
Next up, we had Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer for the women's championship that was vacated when Naomi announced she was pregnant.
Who'd you pick for this before you get to it?
I picked Stephanie Vaquer.
Oh, did you?
Yes.
I thought you picked Io Sky. Damn it.
Yeah, I have down for Stephanie, and you picked Stephanie.
I knew who I picked. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I thought I had one.
Thought you had one. Not quite yet. So interesting match at the beginning. Something the announcer said. I can't remember if it was Michael Cole or Pat who said it, but they said that Io Sky is the best wrestler in the world. And I thought they were referring to women's wrestler, but then they clarified they think she's the best wrestler in the world, male or female.
That's a little bit of a stretch.
I thought that was odd for them to come out and say that. Maybe they're just trying to hype up this match. But back into the match. Early on, Stephanie Vaquer kept going for the Devil's Kiss. Blocked it a few times. She couldn't get it. Something I found odd, Vaquer spent the match attacking Io Sky's knees and weakening her knees, and Io really played it up that her knees were hurt throughout the whole match. Stephanie finally wore her down. She was able to hit the Devil's Kiss. She did the SVP. The SVB, the Stephanie Vaquer bomb, which they said is her final finishing move, but I don't recall.
It's new.
Okay, so something new. I don't recall seeing her use it.
It's a brand new move.
But Io kicked out from that. So, and then they kept. So eventually, then Io took back over, started beating up on Stephanie Vaquer. And like they played the whole match that Io Sky's knees were hurt, but then she put her in the corner and she took down her knee pads and she ran and she double kneed Stephanie to the face. And I was like, if your knees are hurting, you're not going to try and use your knees as a weapon.
She's the best wrestler ever, though, right? According to the announcers. So she can do that kind of stuff.
And then she went up top and tried to do some sort of a moonsault or something. She missed and then hit her knees, which then, of course, hurt her. And then Stephanie Vaquero was able to win the match. I enjoyed the match. I just thought the storytelling during the match was off.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just glad Stephanie Vaquero won. One of our, I don't know, did I post that one yet? Yeah, I did. The ranking thing, because I agree that she is the best female wrestler on the roster.
Stephanie Vaquero over Io Sky, in your opinion? In my opinion.
Yes. For female wrestlers on that roster, which she is on Raw.
Yes, they're both on Raw.
Yep. She is the best female wrestler on the roster. And so the right person finally won, and I kind of knew it was going to happen because they kept delaying it, and things kept coming up here and there. But I'm glad she won. I thought it was a good match. I think Stephanie Vaquero's a good wrestler. Hopefully they give her an extended run. I'm hoping at least a couple months, and then not just going to pull like at the next pay-per-view she's going to lose because she has to go against Tiffany Stratton, I think, at the next pay-per-view.
Yeah, they've gone back and forth on that. For a while, I thought I was hearing they weren't going to do the Crown Jewel like they did last year, but now it looks like they are going to do the Crown Jewel championships.
Because they did, on Raw, they did, I'll just tell you.
Okay.
They did a Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins face-off.
Okay.
Cody Rhodes had his ring on that he won from Gunther last year, which was another trash match. But had his ring on and he was kind of flaunting it and stuff like that. So, yeah, they're bringing that back.
Alrighty. So, after that match, Pat said his goodbye. He left for the night. Again, I get bringing Pat back. He's popular with the crowd. He's in Indianapolis. It's the first ESPN event, but why not commit to the full match night? I don't know. I don't understand.
So you got to go do college football.
I guess so. Maybe he had something to do.
Real quick, B+ for that match.
B+? Oh, I give it a thumbs up. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed that one. So
you know what? A-.
There you go.
A- for that match because the right person finally won. They did one thing right in this entire pay-per-view.
Still a thumbs up because I can't give it a double thumbs up.
Why not?
So there's not much more I can do.
Oh, all right. Yeah, sorry.
All right. So next match, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch versus CM Punk and AJ Lee. The power couple, as they were calling them that night. Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch came out on giant pedestals. I thought that was pretty funny. It's a great intro, just really putting the two of them out. I really like the two of them together in this role. I think Becky Lynch is a much better heel in this role than she was by herself. I really enjoyed this together. CM Punk came down wearing a shirt. I can't remember exactly what it's something about his hot wife or something like, I think AJ Lee's husband or something like that. But, so whatever. The two of them at the beginning of the match, Seth and Becky played tag games, tagging back and forth, just trying to frustrate, irritate AJ and CM Punk, neither one wanting to commit or get into the ring. And they just kept making them hop in and out of the ring because in an intergender match, when you tag in, the other team has to tag as well. Mm-hmm. Eventually they start fighting. Both women started taking advantage of when the ref was distracting the ref and the other one would choke the man out in the corner and stuff like that. So they were really playing up the women versus man angle. Here, what I going through? I took some quick notes on the match. It went back and forth, and they did a lot of AJ and Seth doing. AJ and CM Punk doing Seth and Becky's finishing moves, Seth and Becky doing some of CM Punk and them moves, or the wives doing the men's moves and the men's doing the wives' moves. So there was a lot of play back and forth on the opponents doing each other's moves or the couples doing each other's moves. I thought it was an interesting match back and forth. I thought it was a tad long. I think it could have went about 5 to 10 minutes shorter, but I still thought it was a good played out match. At one point, they hit the double pedigree. Seth and Becky plan a double, go to sleep. Punk reverses it. AJ reverses it. Punk stomped Seth. Becky stomped Punk. Then right after that, Becky put Seth in CM Punk in the sharpshooter. I thought that was kind of funny because there's no way, truly, she would have the strength to put him in the sharpshooter. Punk ended up reversing it. Seth hit the pedigree and then the stomp. AJ delivered the stomp to Seth during the pin. Becky hit the manhandle on AJ Lee for the 2 count. Then they go outside the ring. Punk and AJ Lee both ended up clearing the announce tables. They tried to both. Punk was going to pedigree Seth through the announce table. AJ was going to, manhandle slam Becky through the announce tables, but both moves got blocked. Becky ended up throwing AJ Lee into the men on the table. She then takes AJ Lee into the ring, does the manhandle slam, and reverse that into a submission hold. Oh, yeah, no, sorry. Becky went for the manhandle slam. AJ Lee reversed that into a submission hold. Becky ended up tapping out. So CM Punk, AJ Styles.
AJ Styles?
I did it again. CM Punk, AJ Lee for the victory, as I predicted. And as I further predicted, it would be an AJ Lee victory, specifically over Becky Lynch, I think, as a way to build a one-on-one rivalry for the Intercontinental Championship.
That's who I picked, too.
No, I don't think you did. On my notes, you got CM Punk and Becky Lynch.
I think your notes are wrong. You don't got to look. It's fine. So I was out of town this past weekend when this PLE was happening. So I just have notes, really. It was hard for me to watch it where I was at. I was catching clips of it here and there. But I have a little tidbit of information for you.
Okay. Fill me in.
And this is courtesy of Bleacher Report.
Okay.
This isn't mine. I didn't research this, but it came up when I was, seeing who won and stuff while I was gone. Last time in action. Okay. CM Punk and AJ Lee have never tagged before. Okay.
Yes.
Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch.
They were 3-0 before today. That was announced during the PLE.
Do you know who the last team they fought? Now keep in mind, it's gotta be a guy, it's gotta be a man and a woman.
Oh, that I don't know.
Because it was a mixed.
Yeah.
Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans.
I don't even know who Lacey Evans is. I do know Baron Corbin, but I do not know.
And that was in
Evans.
2019 at Extreme Rules.
Okay.
I just thought that was interesting.
Interesting.
Neither of them are in WWE anymore. Although they should bring Baron Corbin back. I like Baron Corbin. But he goes by what? Lone Wolf now or something like that. Or that's what he was, and Baron, whatever. But anyway, yeah. I clearly think the wrong team won as I picked Seth and Becky. Mainly because I feel like Seth loses a lot of these matches. Like, if you go back to, like, the Cody Rhodes stuff, he lost, like, every time against Cody Rhodes. Yeah. In the CM Punk stuff,
he lost to CM Punk on the first Raw this year on Netflix. Yeah.
He's just losing them all. And maybe he's just being selfless, right? Maybe he's like, oh, I'm okay with losing. I know they don't like each other. Although at this point, do they or do they not? I'm starting to kind of wonder a little bit myself. But he's got to win eventually, right? I mean, that's kind of my point. He's got to win eventually.
That's where I'm torn. Cause like Seth Rollins is one of my favorite wrestlers. I wanted them to win. I just think storyline wise, this made more sense. It didn't make sense for AJ Lee to come back and just immediately lose. Again, I think having her beat Becky Lynch builds that one-on-one rivalry there. Seth and CM Punk already have their rivalry. I do think you're right so far. Seth has lost a lot of matches to CM Punk in different tag matches and all that, but Seth has won the important ones. Obviously, he won the championship against CM Punk. But eventually, I think
a multi-tag.
Yeah, but he won that match. It was the important one, the one that counted.
But what if, like, okay, so Seth wins this match because it's headed for like WrestleMania, right? Or at least maybe Survivor Series.
Yeah,
where it's just going to be a one-on-one for the title, CM Punk and Seth Rollins, right? That's kind of where I think it's headed. Let Seth win this match, build it up a little bit more, and then CM Punk can win the title at one of the big pay-per-views, whatever. Yeah. But
I see that CM Punk beating Seth for the title eventually. I can't see that not happening. As much as I would love it not to happen, I can't.
It's going to happen eventually.
I can't see it not happening. So maybe, I don't know, maybe Seth Punk wins it. Maybe they'll do some sort of Heyman team, new Heyman team versus the old Heyman team. Maybe CM Punk with the Usos.
Maybe.
And Seth gets the victory there.
That's Survivor Series.
Yeah, Survivor Series. Or a different match, and maybe Seth gets a one-on-one victory at Royal Rumble or Elimination Chamber. And then, maybe they get a one-on-one match at Royal Rumble. Seth wins that one. Punk turns around, wins Elimination Chamber, gets his shot at WrestleMania, and that's where he wins. So Seth does get a victory in the meantime. There's plenty of time for Seth to get some victories before he loses to CM Punk.
Yeah, I guess. I'm going to give the match a C because the team I wanted didn't win, but the match is okay. I thought it was okay. I think AJ Lee looked good for not wrestling in 50 years, or however long she...
Yeah, it's been 10 years at least since she was in WWE. They keep hyping that up.
I thought she looked pretty good. A little rusty here and there, but that's to be expected. Lynch pretty much carried her through most of the stuff like she always does. So, quick note also, after the match, AJ Lee posted on, I think it was Twitter or X, thanking Becky Lynch and thanking, it was like out of character.
Okay.
It was an out of character post, thanking Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch for a great match and stuff. So I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I gave it a thumbs up. I mean, I thought it was one of the best match of the night. I really enjoyed it. Again, I like everybody involved. I like Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. I like to hate CM Punk. So even though they won, I still really like the way they played up the doing each other's moves angles, the couples doing each other's moves and all that. I really thought it was a well-told story. Again, thought it dragged on just a tad too long, but I still thought it was a relatively good match.
I hated this pay-per-view, Jeff. I didn't like it at all.
I hear that. So
I didn't like it at all because all my picks lost. But
you actually.
I got one.
Yeah.
I didn't get the last one.
So you what I'm saying here. So you hated it so much. Well, let's cover the last match, get it done and over with.
Let's get it over with. This video's too long already.
So again, I keep commenting on things I noticed during the entrances. Did you notice anything? Spall, you said you don't. You reviewed it.
I had to clip it. Yeah, because I was out of town.
Cody came out in black. Like this is the first time I remember. He wasn't in red, white, and blue. He was in black, like the white part of his outfit.
Well, they keep teasing a Cody heel turn.
Yes, that's been teased for a while. But yeah, it was just I thought that was really shocking, really telling for him to come out in black. And so yeah, we'll see where that goes, if that's a continued turn or what they're hinting at. I thought this was an odd match for them to do it to. It might have been better at the Cena match because at least at that point they were both faces. So having Cody come out in black would have hinted at something. Cody wearing black versus Drew doesn't mean, unless he was going to come out with some sort of ruthless aggression and he was going to fight, Drew dirty, how Drew's been with him, but he really didn't. He fought his normal match. So yeah, I didn't understand the black, but we'll see where it goes. So just calling it out now. So, but yeah, Cody coming on black shocked me. At the beginning of the match, they really played up Cody's ongoing head injury, him being sluggish at the beginning of the match, being a little dizzy, taking the punches a little bit harder. They played up him being kicked through the table. They played up, him being attacked the night before at SmackDown and all. So McIntyre went to pin Cody. He had a Claymore. Ref somehow ended up outside the ring, got distracted, ran back inside. Of course, there was a 2 count. So this is setting up, where this is going. Drew's going to complain again. I got screwed. Had the ref been in position. I agree. Had the ref been in position, he would have got the 3 count. Cody hit the crossroads. McIntyre kicked out. That moves like everybody kicks out of the crossroads anymore.
That's trash. It's trash. Cody's trash.
Yeah. Drew hit the Claymore outside the ring. He went to the Claymore inside the ring. So back-to-back Claymores. They were talking earlier in the match to Cody's head injury. But he kicked out after double back-to-back Claymores. So Drew took Cody outside the ring, set him up against the table. Drew went to Claymore Cody against the table. The ref stepped in the way and blocked it, would have let him do the move. So again, Drew is going to complain he got blocked. Even at the point, the ring announcers were like, I think it was Wade Barrett, was like, what are they doing? Why are they stopping this? It makes no sense. The ref doesn't get involved. It's a legal move. He can do that, So Cody ended up moving once, Drew pushed the ref out of the way, ended up going for the move. Cody moved. Drew hurt his leg. They go back up in the ring. Cody went for the Cody cutter. Drew hit the Glasgow kiss. But he went to go for the Claymore, but he couldn't launch off the Claymore because of his hurt leg. Cody takes back over, does a super cutter off the top or middle ropes. Then he hits the crossroads again. Cody victory. And again, wrap up here as Drew has another excuse. So while you're frustrated and I'm frustrated, I was correct. I picked Cody. You picked Drew. Again, this is a match where I wanted Drew to win, but I went with the storyline I thought made more sense to WWE. They are building Drew up as having more excuses. So again, hopefully eventually he gets the title run I think he deserves.
I think he keeps getting these title shots, right? and then he loses. He comes up short. Eventually, people are going to stop looking at him as a credible threat because he keeps losing.
Yeah. Yeah, he did win a year and a half ago at WrestleMania.
That was during, I thought he won during COVID.
No,
I'm sorry, I'm not allowed to say that.
Remember, he did win back then. And
that's right, Damian Priest.
Then Damian Priest, but he beat him at WrestleMania 41 last year. And then Damian Priest immediately cashed in because you remember Drew went over, started talking to Punk. Punk slapped him or hit him. And
he knocked his legs out from underneath him or something.
Yeah, and then, Drew came down, or not Drew, but
Damian Priest.
Damian Priest came in and cashed it. So, yeah, he did win, but, yeah, he immediately lost it.
I mean, think about what you just said. Damian Priest was champion more recent than Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. But that's what started this whole story angle. So I think eventually it's going to have a payoff and he's going to win. If it doesn't, I'm going to be hugely disappointed.
Yeah,
I'm expecting some sort of a payoff at some point.
It is like...
And maybe that's what leads to the Cody Rhodes heel turn.
It is... Oh, it's almost like criminally insane.
Yeah.
I don't know that Drew McIntyre didn't win that match. Cody Rhodes was nowhere to be seen. Drew McIntyre built the entire match by himself.
Yeah. But that's where I didn't think he would lose because Cody Rhodes, he just won the title back. He hasn't been around. I just didn't see WD. I mean, they could have did a storyline where he was wrestled injured and he shouldn't have wrestled, but he did and he lost.
Well, I read...
It wasn't a true loss, but yeah, I don't know. I just didn't see them.
I mean, I'm going to give the match a C. It was a good match. It really was.
Yeah.
But I'm mad at it because Drew didn't win, so I'm giving it a C. Do you want to give your grade real quick?
I'll give it a thumbs up. Again, another good match. I thought most of the matches of the night were good.
But I did hear two things, and these were just rumors. I don't know if they were true, but they changed on Saturday morning. 2 of the matches they had completely different outcomes on.
Yeah, I saw the same thing. They changed the Cena Brock match and the Rhodes Cody match. So the bookends of the night they changed last minute. And I don't know
why they came from because the original ideas sounded way better. They had Cena beating Brock. I don't know if there was any shenanigans involved in that one or not. But the last one, Randy Orton was going to come down and cost.
He was going to cost Cody the match.
So it wouldn't
have been a true loss for Cody.
It wouldn't have been a true loss for Cody, which protects Cody. But then it sets up Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes, their little feud they have going on. And then it gives Drew the title, who deserves it. Yeah. So that would have been a much better ending. Why they didn't do that, I don't know.
Maybe they'll decide to build that up and do that at another event. They'll continue that storyline. So, and
then before we end this video, you forgot to mention that Stephanie McMahon is getting inducted into the Hall of Fame next year. Shocker.
Yeah.
For what reason?
I think she deserves it. She's been a huge part of wrestling for 20, 25 years. I just do think it's tacky when her and her husband are running WWE right now. I hope the nomination or the decision came elsewhere. I don't think we'll ever hear.
Well, they said that Triple H one did last year. They said he had nothing to do with it.
Yes.
So
maybe and I'm assuming she doesn't either, but it does seem kind of odd and kind of tacky that while you and your husband are running.
I mean, to be fair though, I know it's a touchy subject for WWE, but shouldn't Vince McMahon get inducted into the Hall of Fame?
I think he'll get inducted into the Hall of Fame right around the same time Pete Rose does after his death. It'll be a post-mortem induction.
You think so?
Yeah. With everything he's got over his head right now, I just don't think it's anything they want to broach. So, but
they could do it silently.
Inducting Stephanie right now brings that topic up. It's almost like they should have just ignored it completely while all this was going on.
What about Shane?
Yeah, but again, you either kid before the dad just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, but anyway, I don't know. I thought the pay-per-view was kind of garbage. And maybe because my expectations were a little too high because it was the first one on ESPN and I expected crazy stuff. Triple H said there's going to be all kinds of surprises and twists and turns, and there never is. I don't know why I fall for it every single time that he says that.
And that's where I mentioned at the beginning that I wanted to talk about at the end was something to do with the expectations of the match. I actually really enjoyed it. I didn't go in with a whole lot of expectations, of it being anything special, just based. I know at one point it was talked about they might try and make this like a WrestleMania level event, but you could tell leading up to it, 5 matches. That's one of the least amount of matches in any PLE I've ever
until
seen.
They start charging $6,000 a ticket and make it 2 nights.
Well, whatever, that'll happen. But, so yes, at one point they were talking about this maybe, whether it was coming from Triple H or whoever, but there were rumors this was going to be a blowout, like for the first ESPN, it was going to be WrestleMania level. But leading up to it, I didn't see that happening with the type of matches and stuff they were announcing. So I kind of I don't want to say lowered my expectations there, but looking at the matches, I talked about a couple. I thought there was some odd storytelling in the matches, and while the Cena and Brock match wasn't great, I really enjoyed the other 4 matches. I really liked the night as a whole. Watching it, I was never bored. I thought it was an entertaining PLE, so I really like it. I give it an overall thumbs up. I'm seeing a lot of people online bad-mouthing it. I think just due to, like you, a lot of people expected a lot more out of it. And when you didn't have the return of The Rock or any other unexpected giant huge things, Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker, like they're talking at WrestleMania 43, any of these crazy blowouts, it was just another standard PLE that wasn't one of their big 4. So,
but it should have been more. It was their first one on ESPN. They signed a bazillion-dollar deal with ESPN. It should have been it. Instead, they loaded it with stars.
It could have been
but
more.
The wrestling was kind of...
But I don't know. I enjoyed it. Again, that's the difference. You look for more wrestling. I look for more of the... You're in it for the WW, the World Wrestling. I'm in it for the E. I'm in it for the WE, the wrestling entertainment. So I was entertained. So I'm going to give the PLE.
This would be the first match I can think of that the best match on the PLE was the women's match.
I would go the couples match. I like the couples match better.
Oh, all right. Well, you're wrong.
Okay, I'll be wrong.
He's wrong. And anyway, on to the next. Well, we're going to sign off here, but don't forget we do have these cards here and cards everywhere. We're going to do a card break video. That's what I got all these cameras up here for set up. We haven't done them yet.
Yeah, every time we think we're going to get to a normal recording schedule, something comes up. But being an adult is hard. Yeah, the next few months.
We're looking pretty good coming up.
Summer shenanigans are over. Traveling is over, I think, for a while. So hopefully we'll be putting out regularly Monday nights, Tuesday mornings, Raw recaps, Friday night, Saturday mornings, SmackDown recaps, PLE recaps, right after, and then hopefully another video or 2 throughout the week. We want to continue the different ranking tiers. We want to do these card break videos. We, talk about going back and maybe ranking our favorite old time wrestlers, playing drinking games during PLEs. So if you guys had any ideas and any type of comments or content you would like to see, like, subscribe,
how many of those things have you had,
comment below.
So. Yeah, what he said, all that stuff's great. I got nothing else to add for this video. So till the next video, everybody, thank you. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, like he said, and tell your friends, tell everybody, like our videos. We have a lot more coming. Our schedules are better now. Thank you for watching. Thanks to the subscribers we have. We love you. Bye-bye.